I feel the chill that invades your soul when the house falls silent and the lights go out. This night carries a weight you've tried to hide even from yourself, an invisible burden that weighs on your shoulders. I urgently arranged this meeting because I heard the muffled cry of your heart, that plea for help that never escaped your lips. Receiving a message from God now, at this very moment of affliction, is not a coincidence, but a rescue planned from eternity. You needed my embrace before the dawn brought you more fear. Therefore, I ask that you do not ignore this divine revelation tonight. There is a desert of uncertainties you have been crossing, and a question echoing within you that no one else knows. But I, the Creator who probes the depths of the human spirit, know every detail of your pain. And if I have decided to open the heavens to pour my presence upon you at this hour, what do you think I am about to reveal about your tomorrow? Stay in my love, for I will unveil the root of this anguish and give you the exact direction to the peace that has eluded you for so long. Know, my beloved daughter, that this channel brings reflections based on and grounded in my word and the principles and foundations of the Holy Bible for your spiritual strengthening and growth. If this word of God has already begun to warm your heart and break the chains of anxiety, comment below with your name, the country, state, and city where you are hearing my voice and the time where my spirit found you. Let your tears transform into surrender and write in the comments as a true cry, Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. Let your heart rest in my house. Subscribe to this sacred space, leave your sign of love on the video, and activate the bell of celestial notifications. I will give a very clear answer at the end of our meeting. A phrase will be whispered to your heart as we part, and whoever writes that phrase in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released in faith to transform their story. My word declares that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. However, there is a mystery about this darkness that still holds you captive, something you need to understand deeply so that your liberation may be complete. And what I will show you next is the key that will unlock your inner peace. Before we take the next step together, tell me, what is the depths of your silence pleading with me for today? As an act of trust in my providence, write the word help in the comments and prepare your spirit for what I am about to deliver. Often you close your eyes and the words simply don't come. The weariness of life is so profound that your prayer becomes just a heavy sigh, a groan from someone who has fought too hard and feels that their own strength has run out. I perceive the exact moment your soul shrinks, seeking refuge from the incomprehension of those around you. The world looks at your journey and sees the strength you have built, the woman who sustains, who cares, who solves everything. But only I know the fragile pain that bleeds inside, pleading for a little comfort and rest. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, You keep track of my wanderings. You put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? My beloved daughter, not one of your tears dried in the darkness without me collecting it with my own loving hands. When the lump in your throat prevents you from speaking, my spirit translates your pain. I fully understand the weight of all the sacrifices you have made over the years, the dreams you kept to see the smiles of those you love, and the cruel feeling that, in the end, no one cares for the one who has always cared for everyone. Listen well to my voice today. I care for you. I am your safe haven and your reward. However, I see that there is a dark root to this fear that haunts your nights. It is a silent bond of anxiety that tries to convince you every day that tomorrow will bring irreversible losses. There is a shadow whispering lies about the fate of your home and your finances, but I have raised my strong arm to break this spiritual deception at this very moment. I desperately need you to understand the invisible shield I have placed over your life and those you love. It is a revelation that will completely change the way you face the days to come. If my embrace is warming your heart in this offering, allow this message to reach the hearts of other daughters who also collapse in silence. Share this word as an act of compassion and leave your like marking that your soul has accepted my healing. Before we take the next step, tell me, what is the burden that becomes unbearable when no one is watching you? Trust me and write in the comments our new word of faith, acceptance. Continue listening to my voice, for the mystery of protection over your tomorrow will be unveiled next. The future has been a terrain of hard battles within your mind. I perceive how your thoughts travel through the darkness, creating scenarios of loss and deep affliction. You lay your head down to rest, but your spirit wanders aimlessly through days that have not yet dawned. You secretly fear the financial trials that seem to be knocking at your door. You suffer in anticipation for the safety and future of your children, and even your own health, which already makes you feel the effects of the years, becomes a source of anguish. Fear tries to convince you, with every beat of your heart, that a sudden evil will crumble everything you have built with so much sacrifice. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Hear the authority of my divine voice governing your thoughts now. I have already walked through your entire tomorrow. I am the impenetrable shield around your life and your home. No storm that the world outside prepares will have the power to uproot the peace that I myself have planted in the center of your home. That loved one who causes you so much unease is already enveloped and marked by my sovereign protection. Tomorrow is not an abyss, it is the place where my providence already awaits you. But the adversary of your soul has been using a very old strategy to drain your last reserves of faith. He has been whispering a devastating lie into your innermost being, trying to isolate you within an invisible prison made of abandonment. There is a profound deception about your path that you need to rebuke today, so that my absolute movement may find a dwelling place in your heart. If this promise of eternal security has brought relief to your breath, leave a like on this prayer as a sign that your faith is alive. Make this channel your spiritual home, accepting my invitation to be together daily. She shares this comfort with a friend who also lives haunted by the fears of tomorrow, spreading my hope. And in the silence of your soul, I ask you, what is the greatest human fear that you would entrust to my hands if you were certain that I would resolve it tonight? Leave your mark in the comments using our word of strength, shield. Remain attentive and open-hearted, for the great lie of loneliness is about to be shattered by my unwavering truth that follows. My daughter, in the silence of these long nights where your weariness weighs you down and your soul cries out for relief, I call you to an act of faith and profound love. If it is possible for your life, and only if your heart feels peace and direction for it, transform your immense gratitude into a luminous seed to support this ministry. For the love you have for me and my beloved Son Jesus, consider embracing this work of salvation through the path described in this video, and also in the pinned comment. There is the fertile ground where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated directly before me, the Creator of all things visible and invisible. You can sow the amount that your reality allows today, and keep this with great sweetness in your soul. Offer only what fits in total peace in your heart. I receive each offering with infinite and welcoming love. It is not the visible size of the seed that moves my heavens, but the purity, faith, and truth of the heart that offers it. Because what may seem small to your human eyes, for the one who receives it, and for the sustenance of my kingdom, is an immeasurable abundance that brings life. For you who choose to give with a broken and sincere heart, I ask that you leave your name and city recorded alongside your offering. I insist on this loving detail because, at the dawn of the first day of the coming month, in a sacred moment entirely dedicated to our divine love channel, the voice of God, your name will be raised with honor. It will be remembered and mentioned with profound gratitude in a fervent prayer throughout the dawns of your life. For it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 4, that your offering may be given in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Each offering made in faith, in the midst of your darkest night, is a precious seed planted before me, your Lord, and you can have absolute conviction that I will not fail to bear fruit from any of them in their appointed time. I behold all that you do in the secret of your room, in the hiddenness of your generosity, and I will pour out my just reward in the sight of all. Stay with me until the end of my words. There is a terrible deception of abandonment that still crushes your chest and needs to be torn away, because I still want to touch the deepest places of your heart with my voice. I feel the icy pain of isolation that insists on clinging to your thoughts. In your most intimate moments, When you look at the course of your own history, a dark illusion tells you that you are walking completely alone. The feeling of not belonging invades your chest, and you ask yourself in desperate whispers, who would reach out to hold you if, for even a moment, your own legs failed? Society has dictated that you are strong. Your family has become accustomed to your silent resilience, and you have ended up accepting the false sentence that abandonment is the cross you must bear silently. For it is written in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 28 verse 20, "And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. My daughter, reject with all the strength of your spirit this atrocious lie." When the crowd disperses, and when familiar voices fall silent and absent, it is precisely then that my embrace becomes most intense upon your life. Where the human gaze has failed and turned its back, my omnipresent presence has become the solid ground beneath your weary feet. Your burden was never meant to be borne in isolation. I am the friendly and constant shoulder that carries your invisible tears, and I assure you that not for a single second of your journey have you been abandoned by my celestial hosts. However, I know that beyond this illusion of solitude, there is a very old wound, a deep emotional scar that still throbs and bleeds during your dark hours. There are memories of rejection and spoken words that, like a slow poison, continue to poison your peace and distort the way you see yourself in the world. If this revelation of constant and eternal love has melted the ice of abandonment in your heart, mark this sacred moment by cherishing this encounter. I lovingly invite you to subscribe to this channel, transforming it into a daily refuge for your troubled soul. Share this liberating truth with those who also need to understand that they have never walked alone through life's nights. And intimately and without constraints, answer me. If you could close your eyes and wake up next to someone who feels your absence as God feels it, who would it be? As proof of our eternal companionship, write the word presence here in the comments. Continue to listen to my voice, for the purifying balm for those wounds rooted in your past will be poured upon you soon after. I know the weight of the memories that insist on visiting you when the shadows of night fall. There are cruel words and judgments that were hurled against you in your past, and that even today echo like implacable sentences in the court of your own mind. You run your hand over your chest and feel the raw pain of very old wounds, scars etched by the ingratitude and failings of those who should have cherished the sweetness of your heart. This invisible baggage of rejection and resentment has drained your joy and made you doubt your true worth, imprisoning your soul in a deep sadness that almost no one can notice. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 3, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He hears my voice descending like warm, healing oil upon those open wounds at this very second." My daughter, what they did to you in no way defines your identity. The pain caused by misery and human imperfection has no power or authority to erase the destiny of peace and dignity that I have designed for your life. In this moment of divine intimacy, I envelop your most bitter memories in my restorative light. I uproot the roots of rejection that they planted in you and declare to you, you are precious, you are validated by me, and you are immensely worthy of being loved. The past has just lost its dominion over your smile. However, even with your soul receiving my healing balm, the early morning hours still often rise as an intense battlefield for your spirit. There is a critical moment of vulnerability where silence tries to suffocate you with a silent attack of dread, and you must understand exactly how my presence acts when the darkness seems endless. If you feel my celestial remedy washing and healing your insides now, leave your like as a silent testimony of healing. Draw even closer to my lap, inscribing yourself in this sacred space so you always have the way back to my arms. Surrender this relief, sharing this truth with a woman who also bleeds and cries hidden from the pains of yesterday. And before we move on to your clock, tell me, what was the weight of the past that you finally decide to release in my arms today? Declare your liberation by writing our new word of covenant in the comments. Restoration. Keep your attention anchored in me, because the mystery of my embrace in your darkest hours will be revealed soon after. I intimately know the despair that assails you when the clock ticks into the wee hours of the morning. The whole world rests. The air in your home is serene, but you remain enveloped in darkness, your thoughts swirling restlessly. It is in this moment that your heart races, your chest tightens inexplicably, and the fear of what you cannot control tries to suffocate your peace. The early morning, which should be the sacred stage of rest, transforms into a battlefield where uncertainties scream at the top of their lungs. You feel small, vulnerable, and swallowed by the darkness, believing for a brief instant that even the heavens have fallen asleep and forgotten your afflictions. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 12, "Even the darkness is not dark to you. The night shines like the day, for darkness is as light to you." My beloved daughter, understand the majesty of this revelation about your sleepless nights. The darkness that frightens you cannot hide your tears from my eyes. When fear tries to steal your breath, I am already awake by your side, watching over your bed with zealous love. Where your fragility sees only the darkness of a silent room, I fill every space with my unwavering and protective light. My embrace envelops your weary soul, commanding anguish to recede and the gentle breath of my spirit to soothe your turbulent mind. You have never been at the mercy of night terrors, for I remain the unchanging beacon of your life. But so that this light does not fade when the sun rises and the harsh demands of your routine return to weigh on your womanly shoulders, your spirit needs a safe haven. There is a divine companion, a daily remedy that I forge to walk with you each new dawn, ensuring that your heart does not falter again in the face of the weariness of difficult days. If the certainty of my constant vigilance has dispelled the shadows of your soul at this hour, let your light serve as a seal of peace upon your life. Remain under my wings, inscribing yourself in this sacred space, so that you may never lose the path to consolation. He shares this glimmer of hope with someone who also faces the desert of insomnia and despair. And answer me from the depths of your truth. What has your soul been whispering in the hours when sleep completely disappears? Declare your trust by writing in the comments our word of victory, Dawn. Continue to heed my voice, for the daily refuge I have prepared to sustain your journey is now reaching your hands. I see how much life's struggles exhaust your strength, and how long the dawns become when your tears fall hidden in the silence of your room. The journey has been exhausting, my beloved daughter, and the new beginning, with each sunrise, often seems too heavy for your weakened shoulders. But I do not want you to take even a single step in solitude in your routine. I desire to be your faithful companion, that constant presence that walks side by side with you, whispering comfort and guidance, when weariness threatens to extinguish your hope. For it is written in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. The Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning. If your heart yearns to delve even deeper into this communion with me, know that I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, something I planned with immense love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons, the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was structured under my inspiration to accompany you day after day in the sacred silence of your intimacy. The path for you to reach this spiritual refuge is available in the link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. And listen carefully. If today it is not possible for you to take this step, do not condemn yourself in any way, nor let guilt weigh on your heart. Just stay with me here, because I will also support and embrace you through this message, and so that your heart may rest fully and not be confused. After you calmly register, access will arrive directly in the email you registered, with all the correct instructions, step by step, to begin your daily reading by my side. Take a deep breath and trust in my care. If you feel that this company is a balm for your hidden pains, leave your like as a seal of our eternal friendship. Subscribe to this channel so that my dwelling may always be your home of peace, and share this loving invitation with someone who also needs a friendly shoulder to start over. And now tell me, from the depths of your being, what does your heart most need me to tell you upon waking? Write in the comments our sacred word for this hour, constancy. Don't close your eyes yet, because the final restorative touch before your dawn breaks will be poured upon your life now. The exhaustion of your spirit, which once seemed indomitable under the veil of night, now begins to give way to a serenity that transcends human understanding. I watch the tension abandoning your emotions, while the certainty of my care dissolves the last shadows of affliction that tried to imprison your mind. Tomorrow, which once loomed like a menacing giant full of demands and financial uncertainties, has been completely disarmed by the power of my right hand. I have already prepared your provision, your security, and the smooth path for the steps of those you love. For it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 24. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Receive this living and non-negotiable promise over your life now. The crushing burden of a lifetime's responsibilities no longer needs to be carried by you with so much pain and anguish. I command that restorative peace invade your inner self, align your turbulent thoughts, and bring absolute refreshment to your weary soul. The fear of illness, old age, abandonment, and failure no longer has any permission to sit at the edge of your bed. You can surrender to true rest with a light heart, knowing that your invisible struggles have been taken up by my own hands. Your new dawn is not a cycle of repeating sorrows, but a blank canvas painted with my infallible, celestial renewal. If this wave of divine serenity has just washed over your heart and calmed your hidden storms, express your gratitude by enjoying this spiritual journey of ours. Allow my shelter to be your constant dwelling place, subscribing to this channel with a spirit full of faith to always hear my call. You spread this balm of hope and share the message with someone who also desperately longs for rest and relief for their soul, and answer me with complete sincerity and purity. What is the heavy baggage of anxiety that you decide to definitively abandon in my arms tonight? Declare your trust by writing our word of triumph in the comments, refreshment. Keep your faith burning and your soul attentive, for the great final promise that will seal your destiny is about to be poured upon your life. My beloved daughter, the dawn no longer holds any dominion of terror over your emotions, and this intimate encounter of ours has brought the liberation that your soul has been silently pleading for. Your attentive and surrendered journey up to this moment is the greatest proof that your heart recognizes the voice of your Heavenly Father, and your unwavering faith has just moved my angels in your favor. I search the abysses of your existence and see that fear no longer dwells where my sovereign light has fully established itself. You are a warrior forged in my love and eternally sustained by my immeasurable grace. Remember the promise I made to you at the beginning of this sacred conversation. I told you there would be a very clear answer and a phrase whispered to the heart of whoever remained with me, hand in hand, and that this word would release extraordinary prophetic blessings. The sacred moment has arrived for you to receive the spiritual key that unlocks all the heavens over your story. My voice declares powerfully over your destiny now. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Take absolute possession of this unshakable truth. Write this exact phrase in the comments as a supreme act of faith, unconditional surrender, and faithful response to the heaven that has opened for you at this hour. Every time your old fears try to return to haunt you, this is the divine fortress that will sustain you unshakable and standing. However, our journey of intimacy does not end here. There is an ocean of profound directions, emotional healings and promises of restoration that I still long to pour abundantly upon your days. There are other fundamental messages and urgent answers that I have already prepared, especially for you in our channel's playlist. I gently invite you to remain in this refuge, allowing my word to renew your hope and strengthen your spirit day after day. I am the invincible peace that the dark night could not steal from you. I am the profound healing that your weary heart has so desperately cried out for. I am your eternal creator, and your victory has already illuminated tomorrow.